Alright, folks, this is my first attempt at live streaming, and I've just set up everything, so hope you can hear me. Let me do a real quick check. Yeah, yeah. Cool. So it's working. Alright, folks, my name is Ashish Piplani, and I've just put my two kids to sleep. Uh, I work full time at a big tech company, and this is me trying to explore all the AI stuff. I was doing it anyway at nights, and I thought, why not I just record myself, and then maybe someone else will find value in this. Okay, so welcome to the podcast. It's AIaDay.blog. I hope to publish more stuff regularly as I learn, and as I learn, I will share. Today we are diving deep into the electrifying world of AI. Surprise, surprise! With this Trends Artificial Intelligence report by Bond from May 2025. Actually, this was released just the day before yesterday, if I'm not wrong. This thing is a beast. It's like a 340 pages report. Uh, and as they say themselves, buckle up. I'll try to finish this in 35 minutes. I'll be reading it with you. And before I do that, it's published by BondCap. Here is their website. As you can see, they are a global technology investment firm that supports visionary founders throughout their entire life cycle. These are some of the companies they have invested in. I can see some very familiar names. You have Canva. Here you have Kayak. You have Multiverse, Netify, Postman. Oh, that's started by one of my college mates in university. Then you have Revolut. Lots of name. So you get the drift. And they are also famous for uh, Maddie Meeker. Her reports are quite in depth, data rich, and I remember reading her internet trends report back in the days. Uh, it was like an essential reading in Silicon Valley and tech industry, especially for like app trends, Google, uh, mobile trends, and all those other things. Anyway, so we'll be reading and going through this behemoth of a report by Bond. So let's just kick off and start. So they say that they have compiled some foundational trends, and then while they were doing it, they concede that they started out as a normal exercise, but it turned this into a beast. Obviously, 300 plus pages of content, and they quote Vint Cerf, an internet founder, who said an internet year is like a dog year, 7 regular years. Well, guess what? AI is making internet speed look like a like a slow snail speed. The pace is materially faster, and the machines can outpace us. We are talking unprecedented change, folks, fueled by 5.5 billion connected citizens, 3 decades of digital data, and of course, the game changer, ChatGPT's easy to use interface from whenever they dropped it in November 2022. New AI founders are aggressive, traditional tech is pouring cash into AI, and the US China tech rivalry. Obviously, that's acute. This isn't just tech, it's a financial, social, physical, geopolitical. There's a lot of aspects here. Let's get into their outline. Okay, what do we have? They have laid out 8 key areas We'll try to touch upon the big ones: change happening faster, unprecedented AI growth in users and CapEx, lots of expenditure there, model cost, monetization threats. Obviously, there's competition from China, some of it is open source, AI in the physical world, new internet users getting AI from day one, and how AI is shaking up work. Sounds like a roller coaster? To me, yes, it is. Okay, first up, a few juicy charts to whet the appetite. Developers in leading chipmaker ecosystem. That's the chart on the top left. Wow, 6 million developers by 2025. That's a small country of coders. I'm right now recording it from Singapore. Roughly 6 million residents here. The second chart is internet versus leading LLMs. Uh, Users outside North America. I think that's okay. That's not a very accurate view, but still, it took them internet like 23 years to reach 90% of users outside North America, and it just took 3 years for LM. That's the red chart. That's the red spike you see here. Leading USA based LLM users, already 800 million weekly active users by April 2025. That's like a lot from zero, almost a billion users in 2 years. And the big six USA tech capex, it just took like a 63% jump in 23 to 24, and there's a lot of expenditure going and investments going in this. Let's look at some more charts. The story continues. Cost of key technologies related to launch. Wow. It's plummeting cheaper than you think. That's electric power slowly reducing in like 7 decades. Computer chips again 3 to 4 decades, and for AI inference the cost has literally plummeted by 99% in just like few months. Uh, then you have leading USA LLM revenue versus compute. It's unprecedented. Revenue in blue, computer expense in red. In 2024, that red bar for compute expenses looking significantly chunkier than the blue one for revenue. We are talking a potential 5 billion compute expense versus 3.7 billion revenue for leading LLMs. That's a gap you could drive a truck through, burning cash to build the future. Are we? Let's look at the next chart. China versus USA. Desktop user share. USA LLM is the dominant force, obviously, but China's LLM is carving out like 10 to 15% of the market share. And then you have the last chart, which is industrial robots installed. China's line for installed industrial robot is going up like a rocket, leaving China, US and the rest of the world looking pretty flat. So obviously China is moving faster when it comes to automation and robots. Moving ahead, let's look at some more charts. And to round out all the visual appetizers here, rideshare versus autonomous taxi in San Francisco. Autonomous taxis went from 0% market share in August of 2023 to 27% by April 2025 in San Francisco. And rideshare dropped from 34% to 19%. So that's bad news for Uber and Lyft, maybe. And autonomous vehicles are coming. Then we have the next chart, which is leading USA based LLM app users by region. Growth everywhere. Obviously, East Asia and Pacific, that's your blue chart in the bottom. Europe and Central Asia leading the charge with the red one. And then overall, like globally, everyone is using AI from the get go. And then USA IT jobs, AI versus non AI. This one is a stunner. AI IT jobs up by around 448%. That's like around 5x. And non AI IT jobs are down by 9%. So job market is definitely feeling the AI effect. Okay, let's go for the overview. The report states the obvious, but it's worth repeating. The world is changing at the unprecedented rate. That's the word they've used like 50 times in this report. Tech innovation is the key, plus leadership evolution. Think about it. Google wanted to organize info, Alibaba to make business easy, Facebook to connect us, and now AI is supercharging all of that. It's like athletes getting better with data. Businesses are doing the same. ChatGPT is the history's biggest overnight success, 9 years in the making, and maybe 9 weeks to so many millions of users. And unlike Web 1.0, which was like first hitting the stage in US, this is happening all at once everywhere. We are seeing technological and geopolitical forces intertwining. Meta CTO called AI our space race, especially with China. The report remains optimistic, though, quoting Brian Rogers. Statistically speaking, the world doesn't end that often. The magic of AI doing your work feels like early email or web search. It's game on, especially USA versus China. Okay, let's go into the meat. So the first one, it's seems like change is happening faster than ever. Technological compounding equal to numbers behind the momentum. Okay, so we are talking about slide number 11, global GDP over 1,000+ years. All right, let's talk about compounding. This chart shows global GDP over a millennium. See those little bumps? Printing press, steam engine, electrification, then bam, internet, smartphone, cloud AI. Each innovation building on the last, and the curve gets steeper and steeper. We are riding a rocket here. Wow. That's an interesting chart. Then let's look at some more charts. The last 50 odd years, mainframes were big, then mini computers, then PC, then a billion plus desktop internet users, then 4 billion plus mobile internet users, and then AI, they are talking tens of billions of units. The scale is just mind boggling. And then notice the enabling infrastructure, CPUs, then big data cloud, and then finally in 2020 to 30, it will be the era of GPUs. It's a logarithmic scale, so even though it looks like a straight line, we are talking about the J curve we saw earlier. Interesting. It's better, faster, and cheaper. AI technology compounding. Let's look at the next chart. It's the training data set size. To train these AI models, you need a lot of data. And this chart shows training data set size in words. From 1950 to around 2010, it was a slow crawl. Then whoosh, a 260% annual growth rate from the last 15 years. We are feeding these models libraries upon libraries of information. You can see there's like a big bump just in last 10 years. Okay, then we have the next chart, which is training compute. And what do you need to know? What do you need to process all the data? Computer power. This is measured in flops. That's floating point operations. Again, a hockey stick. A staggering 360% annual growth in computing for training AI models over the last 15 years. More data, more compute. See the pattern? Impact of improved algorithms on AI platform. That's the next chart. It's not just about throwing more compute at the problem. Algorithms are getting smarter too. This chart shows the effective compute, how much you gain from better algorithms versus just bigger models. We are seeing a 200% annual growth here over 9 years. So we are working smarter and harder, or rather, the machines are. Wow, that's LSTM. Then you have GPT-2, Turing. Then you have Chinchilla. There's a very high effective compute. Let's look at the next chart now. Oh, this is a busy one. is performance of leading AI supercomputers in flops. Uh, Hardware that runs these algorithms, AI supercomputers, their performance is up 150% annually over the last 6 years, enabled by more chips per cluster and better performance per chip. You have 2019 when we had GPT-3 cluster, and then XAI Colossus. Wow, that's like right up at the top, leading AI supercomputers. The result of all this is an explosion in the number of new powerful AI models. We are talking a 167% annual growth over just 4 years in models from XAI, Anthropic, Meta, Nvidia, and more. It's like an explosion of for AI. Number of new large scale models. Like literally, there was one like in 2017, DeepMind had like Alpha Go Zero and Master. There's nothing in 2018-19. Then you have ChatGPT, and now in 2024, there's like so many models. Like I can't even count, like more than 100. ChatGPT AI user plus subscriber plus 7 new growth ramps equal to harder to match ever. We are talking about the poster child, ChatGPT. Weekly active users heading towards 800 million by April 25. Subscribers and revenue 4 billion estimated from 2024. The kind of ramp is, as the slide says, hard to match ever. It's not even a chart, it's like a vertical screen. Wow, 800 million users, 20 million subscribers. I'm one of them, and 4 billion in revenue. Like literally from zero. And this is a fun one. ChatGPT hit 365 billion annual searches in just 2 years. Like it took Google like it's like Google took like 11 years to hit that mark in 2019, and that's like already more than 5 times faster. The speed of adoption is just off the charts. So AI is a compounder. Google's mission from 1998 was to organize the world's information. Nearly 3 decades later, a lot is digitized, but AI is moving much faster. Why? Because AI is a compounder, riding on existing internet infrastructure and making powerful tools easy to adopt. Like even people like me, who I won't say are like back-end and techies, have so much to uh, like try and gain from these tools. Think about how knowledge has spread over the 6 centuries. So you had the printing press invented uh, in 1440, and took a while for a book to get around, but at least now you're not writing each book by hand. Then you had the internet. It was active digital delivery. Sudden information is just a click away. It was released in 1993. I was not aware of this, but that's what this chart says. And then you're talking about, so it moved from static plus physical delivery to active plus digital delivery to active plus digital plus generative delivery, and that's generative AI like ChatGPT. Now, AI isn't just giving you existing information, it is creating new content for you. By mid 2024, nearly 7% of global news articles were AI generated. That's around 60,000 AI articles written per day. A nice quote here: knowledge is a process of piling up facts, wisdom lies in their simplification. Interesting. And then there's a myth that AI is just like launched now. I mean, people in 1950s were thinking AI is just around the corner. Then in 1980s And I saw Mark Andreessen talking about it in one of the interviews this week. So it's not an overnight sensation, even though ChatGPT's rapid fame will make you look like that. 1950s, there was the Turing test. John McCarthy coins the term artificial intelligence then. In 60s, early programs, Shaky, the robot, then the AI winter of 1967 to 1996. Progress but no practical wins, so funding dried up. In 90s, Deep Blue beats Kasparov in chess. Then you have 2000s. Then Roomba, Sanford's driverless car wins DARPA Grand Challenge. Then you have Apple acquires Siri. Eugene Guzman passes the Turing test with some judges, and OpenAI releases GPT-1, then GPT-3, which Microsoft licensed exclusively. And then November 2022, OpenAI unleashes ChatGPT to the public. The world changes. And the pace just accelerates after that. 2023, March, GPT-4 multimodal is launched. Then Google Bard is launched. Microsoft integrates Copilot. Anthropic's Claude comes into picture. And then Global AI Safety Declaration. Remember the whole petition about let's stop doing AI research? In 2024, Meta's Llama 3 is open sourced. Google adds AI overviews to its search. OpenAI GPT-4o comes in. O is for Omni, which means full multimodality. Apple Intelligence is announced, although I'm still waiting to get it. Alibaba drops its 100 open source models. Wow. And these were like great models in performance in line with all these Western competitors. And 2025, DeepSeek's open source reasoning models, OpenAI's GPT 4.5, Claude's 3.7, XAI's Grok 3, Alibaba's Qwen 2.5, Max beating benchmarks, and ChatGPT hitting 800 million weekly active users by April. That's a lot of innovation in just 2 years. And then, so what's happening in AI in quarter 2025? Quarter second of 2025. And then, so what can I actually do now according to ChatGPT itself? So write or edit anything, email, code, poems, doesn't matter. Summarize and explain complex material, tutor you on almost any subject, be your thinking partner, brainstormer, debugger, automate repetitive work, role play for interviews, connect to tools, write code for APIs, offer therapy and companionship. Interesting one. Help find purpose, clarify goals, and organize your life. Trips, routines, pretty ambitious list for today. That's possible today. So fast forward 5 years. What do you think AI will be likely doing in those 5 years? Human level text code logic, can create full length films and games, not the ones that you see in VO3 or Sora today, which is just 5 minutes of scenery from text. Understand and speak like a human, emotionally aware. Power advanced personal assistants like planning, memory recall. Operate human like robots for homes, elderly care. Run autonomous customer service and sales 24/7. Personalize entire digital lives. Wow, I'm not very excited about it. Build and run autonomous businesses, and this is like scary. Drive autonomous discovery in science, drug design, climate modeling. Actually, this is the one which I think is underrated, but once you automate this, there's a lot of new elements and compounds to be discovered. And then collaborate creatively like a partner. We are talking about co-writing novels, music. Even if half of this comes true, the 2030s will be wild. And what about 10 years from now? Wow. Autonomously conduct scientific research. Obviously, all of this is predictions, but what likely will happen in 10 years? Second is design advanced tech, materials, biotech, energy systems, simulate human like minds with memory and emotion, operate autonomous companies with minimal human input, perform complex physical tasks, adapt in real world spaces, coordinate global systems, logistics, energy, crisis response, model full biological systems for research, offer expert level real time decisions, legal, medical, business, you name it, shape public debate and policy. Think about that. And build immersive virtual worlds from text prompts. There's a lot of lofty goals. Let's see if ChatGPT is a good fortune teller, because this is all generated by ChatGPT, as the report says. So AI development trending is unprecedented. We are talking about machine learning model trendings in 2015. Wow. So the academic area was 2003 to 2014, and the industrial era is like 2015 to today. Crucial shift. So it was all seen as an academic interest. Why this change from academic to industry? I think the data, compute, and cash needed just exploded. Industry produced 55 notable models in 2024. Academia, zero by this notable metric. Though academic work often takes longer to get recognized, still the big players are now the big companies. This is like the annual new notable machine learning models. Wow. I can see the blue zero for the blue academia in this year. Then AI developer growth, NVIDIA ecosystem as a proxy. So NVIDIA ecosystem is a great proxy for AI developer growth. They are looking at a 6x increase to 6 million developers in just 7 years. That's an army of building the AI future. That's like the number of people living in Singapore. Then next slide, you have estimated global developers in Google ecosystem, and up 5x year on year to 7 millions by May. Developers floodgates are open now. Computing related patent grants. Patents tell a story too. Computing related patents granted in the US exploded post Netscape IPO in 1995. And guess what? Another even faster explosion post ChatGPT 2. So innovation is an overdrive. We saw 6,000 more patents in 2024 versus 2023 alone. So literally, if this is one chart that I want to remember, it's this chart, which is like literally this is like internet when it was launching. It's the same era. AI performances on MMLU, massive multitask language understanding benchmark. This is big. The MMLU benchmark tests language models across 57 subjects. Human baseline performance is about 89.8%. In 2024, top AI models hit 92.30%. Yes, AI is officially outperforming humans on this broad academic test. Then let's look at some other slides. Is AI passing the Turing test? The Turing test. Can a machine mimic human conversations well enough to fool us? A March 2025 study using GPT 4.5 with a persona found that it had an AI win rate suggesting it was often mistaken for human. In one example, participants thought the AI generated chat witness A was human with 87% certainty, saying it had human vibes. I'm not sure what that means. The actual human was deemed to have human imitation vibes. The machines are getting good at sounding like us, maybe too good. Wow. So this is interesting. The next one, increasing realistic conversation simulating human behavior. Okay, AI generated image generation. Look at AI image generation. Midjourney V1 in 2022 produced let's say an abstract looking sunflower necklace, and by V7 April 25, the two things here. First, 7 generations already in like 2 years, and it's photorealistic, it looks real, it's a stunning piece. I want to gift it. And what about faces? Can you tell which face is AI generated, which is real? It's getting really hard. The realism is uncanny. I think now the time has come where you can't just trust anything on the internet. Audio translation 11 Labs, an AI voice generator, their site visits went from near zero in January 2023 to 20 million in April 25. They can clone voices, translate into different languages while keeping the original speaker sound. They claim their users generated 1,000 years of audio content in just 2 years. Then let's look at Spotify. It's not just like all these 11 Lab, etc. And this tech is going mainstream. Spotify started accepting audiobook AI translated by 11 Labs into 29 languages in Feb 2025. Spotify's CEO Daniel Ek talks about breaking language barriers for creators worldwide. Imagine the explosion of knowledge sharing and entertainment. Emerging AI applications, as per Morgan Stanley. Wow. It's not just chatbots. DeepMind, AlphaFold predicting protein structures. Microsoft and Page building AI to fight cancer using images. Google showing robots understanding human instructions via LLMs. Amazon's agentic AI completing tasks. Meta's universal translation model. And Channel 1 AI showcases personalized newscast with Gen AI. It's touching every field, like literally. AI benefits and risks. With great power, the real AI could free humanity from menial work, boost production, accelerate science, cure diseases, solve climate change. Demis Hassabis of DeepMind said, first we solve AI, then we use AI to solve everything else. Obviously, risks are there, misuse is already happening, lethal autonomous weapons, surveillance based biased decision making, job impacts, cybersecurity threats. Stephen Hawking warned AI could be the biggest event in civilization or the last unless we manage the rest. Heavy stuff, but crucial to remember. Let's look at user and adoption and obviously the spend. Okay, so the user growth is unprecedented. We saw a glimpse earlier. ChatGPT weekly active users 8x surge to 800 millions in just 17 months. That's like building a new global superpower of users in under 2 years. And AI adoption. Remember this? Internet took 23 years for 90% of users to be outside North America. ChatGPT app projected to do it in 3 years. This thing is global from day one. Though it's worth noting it's not available in places like China and Russia. AI global adoption, years to reach 100 million users. Check this out. Netflix here took it 10 years to reach 100 million users. Facebook 4.5 years. And then Instagram a couple of years. Then TikTok less than a year. And then ChatGPT 0.2 years. That's 2-3 months. Blink and you miss the user boom. Days to reach 1 million customers per user. It was another way of saying this is like Ford Model T in 1908 took about 2,500 days to get 1 million customers. Not a fair comparison because it was a physical good, but TiVo, which is the TV, took like 1,600 days. iPhone, 74 days. ChatGPT, 5 days. And the purchase price, ChatGPT was free to start. That certainly helps. AI user adoption. Time to 50% household penetration. The second industrial revolution took 42 years for its tech to hit 50% US household adoption. PCs 20 years, desktop internet 12 years, mobile internet 6 years, and the AI era, they are estimating 3 years. Each cycle roughly halves the time. We live in a fast forward now. Let's look at tech ecosystem AI adoption. It's impressive. Wow. NVIDIA ecosystem tells the story from the left chart, which is number of developers. The next chart is AI startups and AI application using GPUs. This is not a big gap. It's 2021 versus 2025. And developers 2x, AI startups 3.9x, and then you have GPU usage 2.4x. The whole ecosystem is booming. And the tech incumbent AI adoption, it's a top priority for them. Like NVIDIA, C3 AI, Baidu, Google, Meta, hundreds of AI mentions in their earning calls between 2020 to 2024. It's top of mind, it's top of script. Wow, we have a lot to cover. The CEOs are all in. Let's look at some testimonials. Amazon generative AI is going to reinvent virtually every customer experience from coding to shopping to cancer research. Google Sundar Pichai, the opportunity with AI is as big as it gets. Duolingo, they made their new chess curriculum using AI with a team of 2 who didn't know how to program or play chess. That's AI empowerment. XAI, obviously Elon is into everything. He co-founded OpenAI. We must have a maximally truth-seeking AI. Then Roblox, David Baszucki says AI as a human acceleration tool. Then we have NVIDIA's Jensen Huang. In 10 years, AI has now integrated into everything called data centers, AI factories. They are not just dipping their toes, they are diving in headfirst. Okay. Enterprise AI adoption. It's not just tech giants. 50% of S&P 500 firms mention AI in their Q4 2024 earnings call, up from practically zero in 2015. So in 10 years, half of them do that. AI is going corporate big time. Even the enterprise Gen AI focus is growth and not cost reduction. So what are global enterprise targeting with Gen AI? Top of the list: production output, customer service, sales productivity, revenue, cost reduction like cost cutting headcount or hiring costs, way down in the list. It's about growth and efficiency, not just slashing expenses, according to Morgan Stanley survey. And for marketers, chief marketing officers are on board. A 2024 survey shows around 75% are already using testing AI tools. I know some personally who do that, and they plan to start within 12 months. Marketing is getting an AI makeover. Enterprise AI examples: Bank of America, their AI virtual assistant handled 2 billion client interactions by early 2025. That's a lot of questions answered without a human. Let's look at some more examples. This is JP Morgan. They are using AI for investors, operations, advisors, aiming to remove no joy work and drive productivity. They see value from AI ML growing significantly year over year. Then you have Kaiser Permanente. What do they do? Let's check. Healthcare that combines healthcare insurance with coordinated high quality medical care. Its leadership in medical innovation and preventive care, and its consistent recognition as one of the America's leading healthcare providers and not-for-profit health plans. Okay, so this not-for-profit health plans, that's interesting, but let me do a bit more on perplexity. So they uniquely combine health insurance and healthcare delivery under one coordinated system, allowing for seamless collaboration among doctors, specialists, and care teams to provide comprehensive patient care. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, so they rolled out an AI scribe in October 2023. By 2024, over 7,000 providers were using it, with 2.5 million scribe visits recorded, reducing doctor admin time. And then our KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, they launched Byte by Yum, an AI-driven restaurant tech platform in Feb 2025, aiming for 25,000 restaurants using at least one of its product this year. Okay, interesting. Then let's look at the it's spreading everywhere, like education, government, research. Education, let's look at education. Arizona State's AI acceleration team, Oxford's 5-year partnership with OpenAI, NextGen AI's 50 million consortium with MIT, Harvard, etc. Wow. And then usage metric. Wow. Let's look at this. ChatGPT government for US federal agencies, national labs partnering with on nuclear cybersecurity. NVIDIA is partnering with nations for sovereign AI. Countries building their own AI infrastructure. They are playing at a different level already. This is a very new thing. This month, Jensen Huang made this announcement. The nations are investing in AI infrastructure like they once did for electricity and internet. There's Japan, Singapore, Vietnam, Switzerland, France, Spain, Ecuador. Research. FDA approved AI medical devices are ramping up fast. 2023 approvals in 2023 alone. 223, sorry. The FDA itself is aiming for agency-wide AI use by mid-2025, and AI is speeding up drug discovery, with companies like InSilico and Cradle seeing 30 to 80% reduction in R&D timelines. I think this will be very interesting. Let's look at research. FDA approved AI medical devices ramping fast, and AI drug discovery. Wow, okay, we covered this already. Let's look at the ChatGPT app usage across age groups. It's unprecedented. I think there's a lot of unprecedented mentions here. So, percentage of US adults who say they have ever used ChatGPT. Wow. The highest is age 18 to 29, followed by age 30 to 49. Actually, it's across the board. Younger folks show highest adoption. Older people use ChatGPT as like a Google replacement. Sam Altman says that. And people in their 20s and 30s use it like a life advisor. The next chart is app daily time spent. ChatGPT. Americans using ChatGPT app are spending more time on it. Daily minutes up 202% over 21 months to around 15-20 minutes by April. It's getting stickier. Let's look at the next chart. App sessions and durations, and they're using it more often. Average daily sessions per user are up, as the average duration per session. More engagement all around. There are 2 sessions and around 9 minutes. Okay, not bad. This Yipit data chart is fascinating. Weekly desktop user retention for Google search is consistently high, around 90%. ChatGPT's retention has been climbing steadily from 50% in early 23 to nearly 80% in 2025. It's closing the gap between Google and ChatGPT. And of employed US adults using AI chatbots, over 72% say the tools are extremely or very helpful for doing things more quickly and improving work quality. AI is making a tangible difference at work. What are students using it for? Top users starting papers, projects, summarizing texts, brainstorming, exploring topics, editing, writing, mathematical problem solving. It's the ultimate study buddy. And this is AI agentic revolution. We are basically moving from chatbots that respond to AI agents that work. Think booking meetings, submitting reports, orchestrating workflows. It's like websites evolving from static pages to dynamic apps. This is AI becoming functional infrastructure. Deep research. It's basically from chat responses to doing work. Let's look at now the Google searches for AI agent. It's shot up about 1000% in just 16 months. World is waking up to agentic AI. Wow, that's like from January last year to May this year. 1000%. Not even sure how to think about it. And then the AI incumbent are launching agents. So the big players are launching the agents. Salesforce Agent Force, Anthropic's Claude 3.5 computer use capabilities, OpenAI's Operator, Amazon's Nova Act. They're not quite there yet. I mean, I use Operator just today, but they want the AI to do things for you, and it will eventually happen. The next thing is artificial general intelligence, the next frontier, the holy grail, AGI. When is it coming? Systems that can perform the full range of human intellectual tasks, not just specific tasks, but reason, plan, learn flexibly across domains. Timelines are uncertain, but OpenAI Sam Altman said in Jan 25 earlier this year, they are confident we know how to build AGIs. If and when AGI arrives, it could redefine what software and humanoid robots powered by it can do. Big implications, big unknowns. And let's talk about CapEx. To fuel all this AI, you need infrastructure. CapEx spent by the big 6 US companies, that's Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Amazon, and Meta, it hit 212 billion in 2024, a 21% annual growth over 10 years. That's a lot of CapEx. And it's growing even faster at 28% annual, the total data generation. More data needs more and bigger data centers, and that requires money. And CapEx spent for tech hyperscalers mirrored by 37% annual cloud revenue growth over 10 years. Wow, training these models needs. So global hyperscaler cloud revenue has seen a 27% year-on-year growth for last 10 years. Wow. It's like less than like $10 billion to now it's around 300 to $400 billion. The cloud is where AI lives and breathes. CapEx spend with technology companies is infected with AI's rise. Let's look at the AI model training data set size, which are called tokens by model release by year. The y-axis here is number of tokens, is 10 to power 5. So that's like 10 to power 6 is a million. And it's going berserk. It's like already orders of magnitude higher in like less than 10 years. Training these models needs insane amount of data measured in tokens. we are seeing a 250% annual growth rate in data sizes for AI models over 15 years. From Transformer to GPT-3, GPT-4, the appetite for tokens is voracious. The big 6 US CapEx versus ChatGPT users. Interesting. So here's the $212 billion CapEx figure for the big six in 2024. Again, a 63% jump year on a year. In the same period, ChatGPT weekly active users grew 200%. Correlation or causation, you decide. But the trends are clear. More users, more AI, more spending. The next chart is Big Six CapEx as a percentage of revenue. And this CapEx isn't trivial. For the Big Six, it's now 15% of their revenue in 2024, up from 8% 10 years ago. They are seriously investing in future. Most of this is going in AI data center. Let's look at some of our specific examples. So AWS, looking at Amazon, their CapEx as a percentage of revenue was 27% during the initial cloud build out during 2013. It dipped to 4% by 2018, but with the AI/ML infrastructure booming, it's shot up to 49%. That's a massive reinvestment cycle, especially for AI. Total CapEx, there's a material improvements in GPU performance. What's enabling all of this? Some of this, it's the GPU performance. NVIDIA's GPUs have seen a 2025 times, that's not percentage, 2025 times performance increase in 8 years for a theoretical 1 billion data center. And inference token capacity up 27,500 times. Wow. And energy efficiency per token is up to better, faster, stronger chips. 43% over 8 years. That's like so overall like 50,000x greater per unit energy efficiency. Wow. So this is for the period of 2016. So in 10 years, this is staggering numbers. Let's look at the installed GPU computing power. With the expanding CapEx and rising GPU performance, the total installed NVIDIA GPU computing power has grown over 100x in about 6 years. That's an exponential increase in AI horsepower available globally. And who's leading it? It's the Hopper. So obviously NVIDIA is the beneficiary of the CapEx that we just talked about. The data center revenue is now estimated to be 25% and rising of global data center CapEx expenditure 2025. They are selling the shovels in this AI gold rush. And the best thing is they say they are not even a data center company. They are an AI infrastructure company. It's not just CapEx. R&D spending by the Big Six is also up. 13% of revenue in 2024 and compared to 9% 10 years ago. They are investing in building the future and inventing it. Okay, sorry, so I read the wrong chart. So this is global data center CapEx versus NVIDIA's data center revenue. So it's around 25% right now, and that's like $400 billion. That's a lot of revenue. So okay, so the left chart is the global data center CapEx. That's around $400 billion, and NVIDIA's data center revenue is around 25%. That makes sense. Then the R&D cost, we already talked about it, 13% in 2024 to 9% 10 years ago. So they are investing. a lot in inventing. And they have the money to do it. The big six US companies generate $389 billion in free cash flow in 2024, up 263% in 10 years, and they are sitting on 443 billion in cash on their balance sheets. In total, that's a lot of dry powder for AI investments. And the report dives into the computer costs. Compute cost, training models is still extraordinarily high, potentially billions for a single model soon, but a growing share of AI spend is shifting to inference. Running the models, inference happens constantly, training is episodic, data centers are key. Global IT company data center CapEx is $445 billion. $455 billion in 2024. That's like $500 billion. XAI's Colossus facility in Memphis went from gutted factory to operating AI data center in 122 days. That's building at lightning speed. Power availability is becoming a bottleneck. Data centers are strategic infrastructure. The key beneficiary of AI CapEx spend is the data centers. Then let's go into the charts. I love these charts. This is US data center analyzed private construction value. Okay, how do I read this? In USA, the annualized value of private data center construction is booming, up 49% over the last 2 years. We are building the physical homes for AI. So it went from like less than, I don't know, it's $2 billion to now it's close to $35 billion. How is it happening? It's mostly new capacity. In primary US markets, new data center capacity under construction or pre-lease saw a 16x increase over 4 years, while newly filled existing capacity was up 5x. Building new is outpacing filling up old. And let's look at some of these beautiful pictures. XAI. We mentioned 750,000 square feet, the size of 418 US homes, built in 122 days. Wow. The average build time for a single US house is 234 days. Superhuman speed. And they fill it fast. 0 to 200,000 GPUs in 7 months for Colossus, with plans for 1 million GPUs. The scale of compute build out is just immense. And these are electricity guzzlers. The IEA notes data centers are about 1.5% of global electricity spend in 2024, and that demand has grown up 12% per year since 2017. US accounts for 45% of this, China is 25%, and Europe is 15%. AI's power demands are increasingly bottlenecked by the grid. It is a massive challenge and opportunity for energy sector. So we are looking at global capacity by data center types, 100. Data center energy consumption by data center type and equipment. Wow. So the cumulatively 100 gigawatts of electricity consumption overall is, I don't know, 400 gigawatts. It's like staggering numbers. Let's move on. AI model cost, inference, performance, developer usage, and monetization and profitability. Training costs for frontier models, they have seen a 2400x growth in about 8 years. So AI model compute costs is high and rising, plus inference cost per token is falling. So performance converging plus developer usage rising. Anyway, so let's look at this chart. Training costs for frontier AI models, they have seen a 2400x growth in about 8 years. Anthropic's CEO said 100 million is current, a billion is in training. And $10 billion model could start training in 2025. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. That's billion with a B. Let's talk about AI inference cost. So before that, let's talk about tokens. Tokens are like words. It could be one word or a piece of word. These tokens are not cut exactly. So they could be subwords as well. So one token is equal to 4 characters in English. It could be 3/4 a word. 100 tokens could be 75 words. It's like how we think about syllables. Carpenter is one word but 3 syllables. Let's look at the cost to run these models. Okay. Inference is plummeting. So in this chart, we are talking about energy consumption per token and energy required per LLM token in joules and NVIDIA GPUs. So you can see in Kepler it's like 50,000, and now for Blackwell it is close to 0. So that's it's down 99.977% over just 2 years. That's an interesting graph. Cheaper to run means more people can use it. And then the AI cost efficiency is improving faster than electric power or computer memory did in the early days. The cost curve is bending down sharply. This chart explains that. It's close to like 99% drop for ChatGPT. For memory, maybe it took some time, and then for electricity it was a lot. It is a classic tech story. As IT costs fall, usage like internet users, so AI model training compute explodes, cheaper and better models. So this is US internet users versus relative IT costs. As the users are increasing, the cost is decreasing. So obviously the adoption will go up. And interestingly, while training costs for the very top models are skyrocketing, the performance of various top AI model is converging. According to the LMSYS chatbot arena human preference score, the gap between best and a good enough might be shrinking. So notable AI model training compute flop and consumer price index information technology. What is this? Okay, this is the prices falling and the performance rises. Okay, so this is what it's trying to show is that for internet, the chart is kind of trending in the same direction. For the same is happening now for AI. Let's look at the. So it's the best models are like DeepSeek is like almost as good as OpenAI and Google in Feb 2025. This gap was very big, just like 1 year back. This gap is converging. So AI model compute cost are high and rising, plus inference cost is falling, equal to performance converging plus developers usage rising. Let's talk about developer usage. Who care about capability and cost, often finding that smaller, cheaper, or open source models can do the job. They can choose from many foundation models avoiding vendor lock-in. It's an explosion of developer-led creativity and tool building. As Steve Ballmer famously yelled, developers, developers, developers. The platform that wins them often wins the war. And developers are definitely adopting AI. Let's look at this chart. 63% of professional developers were using AI in their processes in 2024, up from 44% just 2 years back. AI developer repositories on GitHub are up 175%. Wow. In just 16 months. And Google's monthly token processed across its product APIs up 50x over year by May 2025. To be honest, they were a bit late to the game as well. Microsoft Azure AI Foundry tokens processed up 5x quarterly year on year. The ecosystem is on fire with AI being used for everything from code generation to bug fixes to UI design. There's a lot of things. AI model compute cost is high and rising, plus inference cost per token falling. It's equal to performance converging plus developer usage rising. So likely long way to profitability. That's the $1,000,000 question. The report quotes the classic danger set statement. It's different this time. We'll make it up on volume. We'll figure out monetization later. Sometimes it works. But AI competition is unprecedented with so many $1 trillion companies and global powers involved. The report cites Alsader Naran's engines that move markets, reminding us of historical tech bubbles and the risk of heavy capital expenditure without barriers to entry. The identifying winner is perilous. Identifying loser might be simpler. So where the money is being made, Nvidia is the king. Their GPU are the default, but this reliance has led to constraints and the rise of custom silicon from Google and Amazon. Google has TPUs, Amazon has Trainium. Amazon claims its Trainium to offers 30 to 40% better price performance, and custom chips are about controlling cost and performance, obviously. There's a lot of pros in here. I will not go into this, but I will show you the Nvidia's quarterly revenue hit $39 billion by Jan 2025, up 78% year on year, mostly from data centers. Over 10 years, their revenue is up 28x. Wow. And while the big six tech companies combined R&D and CapEx spend is up 6x, and we're just riding the spend wave. So this is the big six public spending. Wow, it's increased by 6x. Let's look at the AI monetization chips. Google TPU estimates are at 9 billion in 2024, up 116%. Amazon's Titanium chips are projected to be 3.6 billion, up from 1.1 billion. The custom chip maker is going fast. Market is growing fast. Titanium is better. Like obviously all these guys are trying, which will mean divestment from Nvidia and de-risking from Nvidia supply chain. And let's look at the beyond chips. Computer services are booming. You have the cloud GPU provider CoreWeave. Its revenue is up 730% to $1.9 billion in 2024. And then you have Oracle AI infrastructure. The revenue is up 50x to nearly 1 billion over 2 years. They have at least 40 new AI bookings over $1 billion. Then you have Astera Labs, Interconnects, revenue up 42% to 396 million, critical for data movement. What is Astera Lab? I think it's a good way to know. CoreWeave, I know. CoreWeave is basically like data center setup company, which is specializing in GPU. Let's look at Astera Labs. It's a global leader in semiconductor-based connectivity solutions, especially specializing in purpose-built hardware and software such as BCLE, CX, and Ethernet technologies for AI and cloud infrastructure, enabling hyperscalers and data centers to achieve high-performance, scalable, reliable data throughput for next-generation computer workloads. So, who are the key big clients for Astera Labs? Let's see. AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, as well as NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, who rely on Astera's connectivity. Is it publicly listed? Yes, it's publicly listed. Interesting. Let's go back to the reports. Wow, Tesla has a Dojo supercomputer. Their AI training capacity, H100 equivalent GPU, is up 8.5x. Musk sees Dojo as a potential sellable service like AWS. Then comes the data layer. Then we have Scale AI. Revenue estimated at 870 million in 2024, up 160%. They want to ensure we are not data constrained for GPT-10. That's what their business is. We have Vast Storage and Management reached 2 billion in cumulative lifetime sales in just for 6 years. They are simplifying infrastructure for AI. Big tech CapEx versus free cash flow margin. So let's first look at the OpenAI. Now the tricky part is OpenAI's revenue is soaring 3.7 billion, but their compute expense is estimated to be around 5 billion. We talked about it. That's a significant burn rate, making tons spending more. So let's look at others. Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta. CapEx is way up in 2024 versus 2023. So that's like around 50% high across the board. But their free cash flow margins are down almost for all of them. And investing heavily in AI is impacting their near-term profitability as well. So we have high revenue growth plus high cash burn plus high valuation plus high investment level, which is good news for consumers, and for others, it's to be TBD. And foundation models like OpenAI, Anthropic, XAI, and Perplexity have raised tens of billions of dollars against a few billions in annualized revenue. Valuation to revenue multiples are sky high. OpenAI is at 33x. Perplexity is at 75x. Wow. OpenAI's enterprise value to next 12 month revenue multiple looks expensive compared to public tech companies. However, their revenue per user is in the ballpark for companies like Meta and Spotify. So this is the enterprise value to next 12 months revenue multiple. So it's like OpenAI is 25x, Duolingo is 20x, Meta is 6.9x is the median basically, and then you have OpenAI sitting at the top. The report reminds us of historical analogs. Apple's near bankruptcy in 1997, Amazon's brutal early. Let's find where it is. Yeah. So as a global digital user bases have grown and potential appetite usage traction is in tandem, areas of corporate investment become increasingly competitive and capital intensive. So this is where they talk about Apple's near bankruptcy, Amazon's brutal early 2000s, and they burned cash, tested investor patience, but ultimately built massive data-driven network effects and won. With current AI aspirants do the same, only time will tell. All right. What about the future of monetization plus profits? Let's now look at AI monetization, threats, competition, and open source. So there's like varying degrees of vertical integration right now. First, let's talk about threats to making all that money back. Competition is fierce, open source is booming, and China is a massive player. Obviously, China is known for killing the competition. Let's look at consumer AI monetization and vertical integration. The tension between capabilities and cost is mounting. Training LLMs is increasingly expensive, yet inference costs are plummeting. Their commoditization makes differentiation hard, good for users and developers, but tough for model providers. Profit. Will they be horizontal platform or specialized apps? The AI company landscape shows varying degrees of vertical integration, from model development to infrastructure to cloud. You have Google, Amazon, Microsoft in cloud. You have Meta, Nvidia, OpenAI in AI infrastructure development, and then you have models in chatbot with DeepSeek, Anthropic, and Perplexity. Lots of different aspects. New entrants are trying various pricing models. The freemium model is common in all of them, actually, with paid tiers. There's a plus version, there's a pro version, there's an ultra version. Price per million token is ranging from 15 cents to 50 cents for basic models and $15 to 75 for the most advanced ones. And some are seeing explosive growth, like you already talked about OpenAI. 1,500% year on year increase in revenue, 153% up in paid subscribers. So from 0 to 20 million subscribers. Wow. Anthropic annualized revenue is up 20x to 2 billion in just 18 months. Perplexity annualized revenue is up 7.6x to 120 million in 14 months. Glean ARR up 10x to 100 million in 2 years, and AI companies are hitting revenue milestones faster than traditional SaaS. Stripe data shows the median time to 5 million is 35% faster for AI companies. Wow. So let's see who will win, new entrants or tech incumbents. There's a philosophical debate right now going on. The tech incumbents aren't sleeping. They are rolling out AI across their massive user bases, obviously. Meta AI used by almost a billion monthly active users. Apple Intelligence Lens launched, driving stronger iPhone 16 sales. We are available in Gemini app ecosystem, hitting 400 million MAUs. AI overviews are like obviously 1.5 billion. That's basically Google search powered by AI. And Microsoft Copilot has hit 15 billion by December 2024. Chats So Canva, Spotify, TikTok, Amazon X, they are all integrating AI very rapidly, and it's an arms race for feature and users. So yes, ChatGPT is good, but others are also not behind. Uh, Canva, we have Spotify, we have Microsoft, we have Meta. They've just like literally turned it on for all WhatsApp users. They have Grok, we have Gemini, we have Amazon Rufus, and obviously we have TikTok Symphony Assistant. AI tech incumbent is rapid revenue plus customer growth. They obviously have distribution. Microsoft's AI revenue is up 175%, and XAI analyzed revenue is materially up in 2025. I don't think they have it reported, but that's what we know. Even Palantir received a 1 billion annual run rate in the US commercial business for first time as artificial intelligence platforms continue to drive both new customer conversion and existing customer expansion in the US. Let's talk about the open source versus closed source model. A lot of philosophical debates here. I'll skip over some of these slides. There's a lot here. This is just talking about how every single company is integrating SaaS in it. We see Zoom AI, Canva, Salesforce Agentforce. And then that is between SaaS incumbents or LLM challengers. You have Microsoft 365 Office Suite or ChatGPT. Then there's horizontal or specialized software. These are USA industries by numbers and companies and market share 2024. So you have so many different, all these colors are like specialized software opportunities in fragmented markets. You have oil refineries, telecom, airlines, all these are enterprise dominated, and then you have fragmented markets: dentists, builder, contractors, building services, computer design services, legal services, physicians, so many of them. AI enabled specialized softwares at large language service industry equal to growing very quickly. You have software engineering, product development, healthcare, legal, customer service, financial services. Let's look at software engineering, specialized AI. Then they have the AI coder, Cursor AI. Their annual recurring revenue has gone from 0 in 2023 to 300 million in this month annualized. You have in product development is Lovable. I love it, and it have gone from 0 to 50 million in a very short period in time. In healthcare, we have a bridge that's like 2x in revenue in very short period. What's average? Let's look at average. One sentence. They uses advanced natural language processing to automate, transcribe, and summarize medical conversations, helping clinicians save time on documentation and improve patient care. That's good. Let's look at the report. For legal, there is professional class AI. Okay. Harvey. In 15 months, they went from 10 million to 70 million ARR. That's 7 million. Let's look at Harvey as well. are we legal AI? One sentence. It's a generative AI platform especially designed for legal professionals, providing advanced tools for contract analysis, legal research, drafting, due diligence, regulatory compliance by leveraging LLMs trained on legal data and firm-specific documents to streamline and enhance legal workflow. Bad news for paralegals, sadly. Customer service, there's Decagon. Again, 10x in 1 year in terms of revenue. Decagon, let's look at them. Okay, interesting. This is Decagon AI customer service. Again, bad news for customer care executives. Then you have Alpha Sense, financial services research and analysis. Again, they achieve like 3x revenue in 2 years. Then the next AI use case frontiers will be broad. We are talking about medical discovery, precision manufacturing, multi-purpose robotics, autonomous scientific research, supply chain optimization, energy grid management, environment and climate monitoring, autonomous finance, and personalized education, cybersecurity, and threat detections. Lots of that. Protein sequencing, model size plus 290% annual to 98 billion parameters over 4 years. So obviously that's good news for fundamental research like protein sequencing. So last scale. So 2020 there was ProGen, ProBird, number of parameters. Now with ESM3, which is the frontier model for protein sequencing, it's 100 billion parameters. Next AI use case frontier is protein sequencing. There's a lot that can be done here. Let's talk about the monetization threats. There's rising competition, obviously, and then there's open source model momentum from DeepSeek and other models in China. Multimodal. So on the back of Google's attention is all you need Transformers research paper, the first wave of modern AI. I mean, LLMs focus on text models such as OpenAI, GPT-3, and Llama 1 show that teaching computers to finish sentences at scale could unlock broad reasoning abilities. Yet human communication is rarely text only and often not only text, even text first. There's image, videos, so many modalities. And multimodal AIs are the result of this. So they embed everything, pictures, text, and whatnot. So there's a lot of each new model forces the models to align meaning across formats rather than optimize for one. So that's why you have 4.0, Claude 3, and then you have Chameleon. Okay, why am I talking about Chameleon for the first time? So Chameleon is AI-enabled in-app campaigns that are polished, not pushy. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, large-scale AI multimodal model competition equal to 1,000 plus percentage rise in model release over 2 years per Epoch AI. Wow. From less than 5 to now it's like 2025. GPT-4o, Grok, so many of them. Large scale AI language model competition equal to 420% increase in model increase released over 2 years per Epoch AI. Vision models, Llama 3.2 and Qwen 2 VL. Then you have speech audio models, that's OpenAI GPT-4o, and then Microsoft's Wall-E family. Video models, you have Sora and Amazon's Nova Reel. I haven't used Nova Reel. If someone has used it, please let me know how it is. There's Vio and Nova, so many of them. OpenAI ChatGPT Google website visit is around 5 billion based on similar web. And DeepSeek. Okay, this is an interesting chart. Let's look at it. DeepSeek, XAI, Grok, and Anthropic. We see Grok AI rose rapidly in March of 2025. It's almost like 480 million visits. That's a lot. DeepSeek is a lot. It's like 500 million visits. And this product releases during week of May 19, 2025. It wasn't just Google's annual I/O conference. There's like Gemini, then there is Copilot, then there is Anthropic, and OpenAI said acquisition of I/O with Johnny Ive's company being merged and acquired by OpenAI. They're probably doing something in hardware very soon. Claude released Sonnet 4. Then there was a Microsoft developer conference. There's a bunch of announcements there. Then there Gemini, and they did a great job in their Google I/O. Okay, so monetization threats, there's rising competition. We talked about it. And then there's an open source model momentum. There's a philosophical battle going on. Closed source, that's proprietary GPT-4 Claude versus open source free to use modify like Llama and Mixtral. Closed models dominated early with performance and ease of use, preferred by enterprises, but open source is surging back, loved by startups, researchers, and developers for lower cost and customizability. China is leading the open source release race recently. User share, for now, closed models like OpenAI, GPT, and Google Gemini dominate consumer MAUs. Open source models like DeepSeek have a similar, smaller but growing share, especially when you consider specific regions. Share of global consumer users is OpenAI, Gemini, DeepSeek, XAI, Perplexity, and then Anthropic. Then, compute investment is higher for closed models, but the performance gap is closing. Open and closed, training compute, and model publication date. So let's look at the performance. On some math benchmark, China's open source DeepSeek R1 is scoring very close to top closed models like OpenAI's O3 Mini. And on broader quality index for artificial analysis, DeepSeek's Open is competing strongly with OpenAI and Anthropic across coding, reasoning, and scientific knowledge. Meta's Llama and Alibaba's Qwen are also in the mix. The open source challenges are getting seriously good, and China is a huge part of it. So this coding, DeepSeek. I mean, it's all neck and neck. Reasoning, coding, scientific research, quantitative reasoning. So rising performance of open source models plus falling token cost is equal to explosion of usage by developers using AI. Downloads of Meta's Llama are up 3.4x and in 8 months to 1.2 billion. AI models on Hugging Face are up 33x in about 2.5 years to 1.16 million. Developers are flocking to these accessible power tools. Let's talk about China's rise a bit. This isn't just about, it's a new space race, as Meta's CTO put it. China is a highly capable competitor. Their Made in China 2025 initiative is accelerating capabilities in robotics, AI, etc. Chinese AI now underpins strategic areas. There are concerns about data sharing and cyber weapons if authoritarian regimes lead in AI. Trade tensions are escalating, especially over rare earths and semiconductors. US is trying to reshore. Taiwan's TSMC is crucial. American IP is at risk. The tone has shifted from early 2000s WTO enthusiasm to recognizing AI and tech as levers of national power. Uh, Looking at the market cap, in 1995, 53% of top 30 global companies are US based. In 2025, let's look at in 2025, 83%. Japan had 9, now 0. China had emerged with 2. Wow. Let's look at these graphs again. So all these companies are US based. Wow. There's one Saudi Aramco, there's one in Taiwan, there's one in China, two in China, and one in Germany. Wow, that's a lot of big companies out of US. This is up from 53% in 1995. In 10 years, in 30 years actually, the whole market is concentrated in US. Let's move quickly. So China is moving quickly. So China's AI responses seem to be faster than the internet response was in 1995. US and China outpacing the rest of the world in cumulative large AI scale systems. Obviously, the rest of the markets are so behind. You have rapid relevance. DeepSeek CEO acknowledges China was a follower, but now most must innovate. Alibaba's Quen 2.5 max claims to beat DeepSeek and OpenAI on some benchmarks. Baidu's Ernie 4.5 Turbo is touted as cheaper and matching GPT 4.1 performance. By the way, I am a Baidu car user, and those cars are great. Then performance catch up. Chinese AI models are closing the performance gap with US models, sometimes with lower training costs. They are increasingly using local semiconductors as well. So these are the scores. And China has significantly higher installed base of industrial robots than the rest of the world combined. This creates a new data at new scale. This is for the world AI. US is like way smaller than China. So globally, GPT leads in desktop mobile user share, but market is shifting. DeepSeek is strong, where ChatGPT can't operate China and Russia. In China, the top 10 AI apps are all domestic. DeepSeek, Kimi, Ernie Bot are huge. Remember, many Western platforms are restricted in China. Desktop user shares shows OpenAI leading, but DeepSeek has risen fast to take a slice. So it's globally number 2 among those selected LLMs. When it comes to sentiment, Chinese citizens are materially more optimistic about AI's benefit versus drawbacks compared to US citizens. This reflects a deep philosophical divide. Let's look at this chart. And let's look at the physical world ramps. AI isn't just digital, it's hitting the physical world hard and fast. Self-driving fleets, Waymo, Tesla generating revenue and logging millions of miles. Applied Intuition is building simulation platform for autonomous systems. That's an interesting company to note. Applied Intuitions. And let's look at this company. Okay, so this is the one which is delivering AI-powered toolchain, vehicle OS, and autonomous stack to help customers build intelligent systems, create next-generation experience, and shorten the time to market. It's basically, if Mercedes wants to do an AV, this is what they need to do. Let's look at each one of them. Tesla, 100% increase in fully self-driven miles in 33 months. Waymo in SF, from 0 to 27% in rideshare market in 20 months. It's already bigger than Lyft right now, and very soon coming for Uber. Applied Intuition, serving 18 of the top auto OEMs. Anduril, doubling revenue year on year for the last 2 years. That's the defense. Then you have Cobalt Metals, using AI to reverse inefficiency in mineral deposit discoveries. That's another interesting company to look for. Cobalt. Hope it is listed, then probably we can do something about it. Physical world AI, Carbon Robotics. We did 230k plus acres, preventing 100k plus gallons of herbicide. So there's a lot of interest in. And then for grazing, there's Halter AI, 150 plus year on year in livestock collar. Contractor intelligence is becoming kinetic. There's so much of it. Let's talk about global internet usage ramps powered by AI from get-go. So 2.6 billion people are still offline, 32% of the world. Low-cost satellite internet like SpaceX Starlink is bringing them online, and their first internet experience will likely be AI-driven in their native language, possibly skipping browsers and search bars for agent-driven interfaces. That's a lot. Global internet penetration is at 68%, up 16% in 2005, but Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa are still below 50%. So South Asia, and urban penetration is much higher than rural. We already know that. So this rural is 48% and urban is 83%. ChatGPT's mobile app hit 530 million MAs 23 with huge growth in India, USA, Indonesia. DeepSeek's app hit 54 million. And let's look at them slowly. ChatGPT app MAUs, most of it is East Asia and Pacific, Europe, North America. That's like everywhere. And top 10 countries: India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil. A lot of them. Then let's look at DeepSeek. DeepSeek, it's mostly China, but then a lot of other countries as well. I see BRICS there. Then you have Starlink. Let's look at orbital launches by year and country. So this is it's already increasing quickly now, and most of it is driven by SpaceX, which is the blue bar at the end. It's already doing more than rest of the world combined. Starlink now has 5 million plus subscribers, growing 202% annually, expanding global coverage, enabling connectivity in remote areas from Mexico to Chile to global shipping everywhere. There's like in the last section, wow, we are already there. AI is fundamentally changing work. We are seeing cognitive automation. AI's reasoning has gone from high school to PhD levels in 3 years. Some say an agentic future will replace many white collar jobs, but tech leaps usually create new jobs, though this time it's faster. Human might shift to oversight and training machine. AI is that industry that could be affected by AI per NVIDIA, AI and agent pilots, search and social media, content creation, legal services, software development. It's like everywhere. So Shopify and Duolingo CEOs have sent memos. AI usage is now a baseline expectations. Their companies are AI first. 7% of the US firms are using AI by quarter first 2025. That's a lot of US firms. Then you have employers are adopting AI for productivity gains everywhere. Internal employee productivity, worker labor saving, customer facing applications, lower risk, like a lot of these objectives for adoption of AI. And they are seeing productivity gains. AI job openings are up 448% in 7 years. Wow. While non-AI IT jobs are down 9%, AI related job titles are up 200%. That's a lot. Apple has 600 plus generative AI job openings. And despite tech cycles, US labor productivity and non-farm employment has both risen over 77 years. NVIDIA Jensen says you are not going to lose your job to an AI, but somebody who uses AI. He sees AI as a closing the technology divide, making programming accessible for billions. In summary, so wrap this marathon up, way longer than I imagined. Imagine a week without the internet. That's tough, right? Soon a world without AI will feel the same. AI is accelerating, touching everything, becoming embedded in how work gets done. Easy to use tools, falling inference costs, and model explosions are fueling this. Tech incumbents are weaving AI into everything. Computer investment is massive, new data centers, networks, energy systems. The US China rivalry defines the strategic landscape. Both see AI as an economic and geopolitical lever. As Microsoft's Brad Smith said, this race will likely be won by the fastest first mover. The US needs a smart international strategy. The genie is not going back in the bottle. It's game time for AI and it's only getting more intense. Whew. That was a whirlwind tour of the AI landscape according to Bond. So much happening so fast. The future is officially here and it's powered by the algorithms. I am Ashish Piplani and thanks for tuning in. Bye.